Here we are, guys. Welcome back. We got just the tip on the Jigs and Bigs podcast just for you. We're going to learn a little bit this week. And this week, we're digging into something that's a personal goal of mine this year specifically. It's getting more confident with glide baits. We'll cover what they are, the right gear, some great starter options that you can find also in the show notes. We're going to put links for you. And most importantly, when and where they shine the most. So let's define a glide bait. What exactly is it? Well, a glide bait is a hard-bodied swim bait that is designed to move with a wide side-to-side S motion. They are slower, more deliberate, and they excel at drawing reactions from fish that are already aware of their surroundings, especially the bigger ones. And like I just said, I've got big fish fever. As far as choosing the right rod for your glide baits, most anglers can actually get started out. If you're just starting out, you can probably avoid needing any crazy specialized setup. Anything like that's longer, so like 7'3" to maybe even up to 8 feet long, that's medium heavy or a heavy rod that's got a moderate fast action is a great place to start. That softer tip, what that's going to do is it's going to help you load the cast, keep those fish pinned when you catch them, but the backbone is going to give you control over that larger bait. Now, there are some great places to start, and if you're looking for a few, I've kind of picked and chosen a couple of them that I think work well. And all these links are going to be in the show notes, so you can go back and check those and see what you think. This first one is one everybody talks about right out the rip, and I 100% think that it's got to do with the price tag, to be honest with you, and that's the S-Waver from River to Sea. The 168, it's a great entry-level glide bait that most anglers can throw on their gear year-round. They probably already own it. That retails for like the ballpark of about, I think it's around $20. Like it's very affordable, and that's certainly something you can throw on that lighter gear. The next one I want to talk about is again, and that's, more like, this isn't like what I would consider like a big bait necessarily. It's a good size.
It's a good size.
Is the G-Ratt Baits Pistol Pete. It's compact, it's lighter, and you can definitely throw it on non-specialized equipment. That's one of the ones that I had picked up as well. Now, we're getting up into some more like big-time stuff. One is a big name that if you're in the swim bait world at all, you've heard a bunch. You heard it mentioned earlier. Joe was looking at some of this stuff in JDM. Deps. The Deps Slide Swimmer 175 is a smooth, refined, mid-range option when you're ready to kind of step up to that next level. And another one that we hear a lot is the Made Negotiator. It's more of a premium glide right there for anglers that are ready to fully commit to it. And another one that, like I mentioned, picking these up as well is the KGB Chad Shad. That is a collaboration with Spro. This makes it, number one, much more easily attainable because it's available and it's mass produced, but the price tag's a little bit lower. It's an awesome collaboration between two great brands, and it brings proven custom design into a more affordable price range with a little bit more availability. It's kind of nice. So as a reminder, all of those links can be found in the description of the show. Now let's talk about the meat of it all. Where do glide baits shine and when should we throw them? So, a couple of things that we got to talk about are high percentage locations. We always talk about casting toward these high percentage locations. For a glide, what does that mean? So like around shallow cover, laydowns, docks, stumps, isolated wood, your transition zones where you have a shallow flat that meets deeper water, concentrate on that. Points and secondary points, especially if they're near a spawning bay, and over submerged grass and grass edges. That's a no-brainer. That is something that I would lean to quite a bit. And then over clear to moderately stained water where fish can visually track the bait. Because that's the thing about this bait, is that it draws fish out. They really need to see it. As far as the best conditions to throw it, low light periods, early in the morning, late in the evening, and any kind of an overcast day, that'll work great too. Post-frontal or pressured conditions where fish are following but not necessarily committing to something else. Pre-spawn is great, and fall. when bass are keyed in on larger forage. And then if you've got calm to lightly rippled water, too much chop can actually kill the glide's visual appeal. And a glide bait really shines when the fish are curious, but they're being a little bit more cautious. You're not always trying to make them react. It's more or less like letting them decide. And that's the thing. You hear people talk about follows and stuff all the time. All of this comes into play. So as far as techniques and cadence go, your best bet to start out is a slow, steady retrieve. That's the foundation. Let the bait do the work for you. Once you get comfortable, you can add a pause. You can do that half turn pattern on the reel handle, or even small twitches to the rod tip to make the bait change direction. A lot of the bites will come right after the bait does something different. And then as far as when you want to build confidence with glides, this is the part that trips up most anglers, is the confidence. You got to commit to the bait. You got to leave it tied on for an entire outing. We've heard that a million times, stuff like that. You want to fish it where you know that big fish live, not just where bites are necessarily easy. You want to expect to get follows and celebrate those follows, because they're not failures. They're feedback. Slow down your game mentally. Glide bait fishing rewards patience, and track your encounters, not the catches. So if you're able to put together some data about, oh, I had a follow and these were the conditions and this is where I was fishing this bait, and you can learn from that and pick up patterns over time. The biggest mistake that anglers are going to make with glide baits is giving up way too early. One bite can completely change how you view these baits. So that's it in a nutshell for this week's Just a Tip. If glide baits have always felt intimidating to you, hopefully this gives you a clearer path forward. Check the show notes for the links to get the baits that we talked about, and let's get a little bit more confident throwing the big stuff this year. Now, Joe, when I had mentioned that this was my goal during the show, you kind of like were right there with me. What's your take? Have you, like, I had gone through a bunch of different sources and looked to see what that was. Walk us through your take a little bit.
Of what aspect of it?
Of like, it's the high percentage areas and the best conditions, stuff like that. Like, or
for the
yep.
glides. Man. So obviously, Bobby, as you know, I'm not. It is one of the areas of fishing that I'm trying to get better at. But around here, the few decent fish I have caught on them, I've noticed swimming them above grass, right above grass. Mm-hmm. I love swimming them in along shallow ledges, structure. Obviously, don't put them through the structure.
That's exactly it. Yeah, I think that's something that also, like, I wish I would have thought about this while I was reading it, but like the purpose of that large profile bait is to call fish from a further distance.
Right.
So like you don't want to throw it in a lie down and be like, I'm going to jig it out. You want to throw it around the outside, and maybe start a little further away and work your way in, something like that. Go ahead, Joe.
Yep.
Jump in on.
Yeah. So that's pretty in a nutshell. It's kind of it's not much different than your other moving baits. In and around structure, above. For us northern folks here, above the grass, around weed lines, around pad lines. Just obviously not in the pad lines. Mm-hmm. That overhanging structure, that shallow overhanging structure.
Yep.
It's just, you think like a big fish would think. Don't forget, guys, big fish are going to be in the best structure. You know why? Because if there's a small fish in the best structure, the big fish is going to kick it out and it's going to take that structure over.
Oh, definitely. So
if you think as a fish, you'd be like, this is the best spot to be, the best spot to hide. That's where your big fish are going to be. So you just got to think like a fish a little bit.
Yeah, makes sense. Shan Willis chimes in. He goes, well, look at these two sexy beasts talking serious about glide baits. Joe better send me my new one.
Thinking about it.
So let's go ahead and take a look at the at the baits, specifically. I'm going to go ahead and change this over. You guys can see the first one that we talked about was this River to Sea S Waver.
Oh, right? It's not blurry now. It looks great now.
Right? That's awesome. I'm stoked. The S-Waver is an awesome bait. It's a favorite. Oh, you know what? I got to go over here. There we go. That's better. $19. This is Tackle Warehouse. I just grabbed the first links anywhere. So like no non-spons, but the S-Waver is awesome. It's the action is fine, but for the cost, it is it's a great place to start. Now, it's a 168 size. We go over this one. You can get a Dark Horse tackle, and it's in that same ballpark right here. And it is the Pistol Pete. The Pistol Pete. It's by G-Ratt Baits. These were very popular, and I picked up the color IU. I think it was probably the best bet for me. But again, this is another one. And this one here is under, I want to say it's just over an ounce. Something like that. This is something that you can probably throw on whatever you're throwing, like a spinnerbait or a bladed jig on, something like that, or your jig rod for that matter. That's probably a little bit too fast overall, but that something that's a little bit more moderate fast would be the best, but you could probably throw it on your chatterbait combo and be okay with it. The next one this is like a little bit of let's go in terms of cost. Let's look at the Spro Chad Shad. All right. So the KGB Chad Shad, this is the pattern I still have to get because it's just money. This is a bit more expensive right here. We're talking just under $70 here. It's $68.49 right there. You can find these on sale. But again, what's nice is that it gets you into that that KGB Chad Shad design, just manufactured by a larger company, so that you can get into this and not lose your freaking mind. We'll take a look at that Deps Slide Swimmer. This is a 175. And it comes in at $89. This is one of those things where, I think you want to build a little bit more confidence when you're getting in here. But, what's the weight on this Deps? I'm just curious. What's the weight? 3 ounce.
Yeah.
It's a good size, it's there's some heft there, but it's nothing crazy. Let's look at, dude, this one. Have you seen the Roman Made
Keep talking,
Negotiator?
Bobby. I'm going to go grab some. I've seen it, but keep talking. I'm going to go grab something to show live.
So this Roman Made Negotiator actually makes that Deps look like a bargain, because this sucker is $275. And again, this one comes, it's a 7-inch bait. It is, again, 3 ounces. 3 ounces is, we think of that, as in terms of conventional fishing, we think of that as being some huge amount of weight. I mean, it's in the grand scheme of things, when you're talking big swim baits, it's not crazy. But this is a significant bait right here, and probably beyond what I would think a lot of folks might be game to go and spend. But, there's a few options to give you all that. But start out with something like the Pistol Pete or the S-Waver. And, if you want to go a little bit larger platform, the Spro KGB Shad is an awesome way to get kind of into it and sort of experience and build your confidence a little bit with some of these awesome presentations, and not have to go super crazy. So, Joe, what do you got for us to check out?
I'm opening up a package live here.
Live. This shit's happening live. Unboxing. I love this. But
Joe's thumb still doesn't work the best, so this might take me a second.
My daughter asked me how your thumb was, and I was like, I'm pretty sure he's doing okay.
It just gets sore. All right, here we go.
We're both cyborgs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
John Carter says, "Oh, that's sexy." I think he's talking about the Roman made the Negotiator.
Right, so here we go.
Oh.
So that's the Lancelotti. That's the Psycho Gill XL.
Dude, the Psycho Gill. So that's a big wake, right? Or is that a crank down?
No. This is a crank.
It's a crank down. Okay. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, the Psycho Gill is popular.
It's like a waking crank.
Yep.
So yeah, there's that. I grabbed 2 of these friggin' things.
Really?
Yeah. It's so heavy, dude. It's 4 ounces.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's good size.
And then this one, I don't know if Shan's still in here. This is not yours, Shan. I'm not opening up yours. This is the one that I got. I got the baby. Check this thing out. Oh God. I thought the hooks were protected. Ouch.
This is the baby. Oh, so this is a clutch, right?
Yep.
So I have a lot of interest in clutch. Oh, dude. What's that one?
Shan, what's the name of this one? The smaller one. I forget. He's right there.
That is pretty badass. Oh,
this one's mine.
Shan says, open mine up.
Hold on, I'll go get it.
So he's going to go get it. Shan, what is that smaller one right there? Go ahead, pop that in the comments, because I was looking at clutch stuff online and I'm like, man, that is a beautiful bait. That is something I need to get into because, it's pretty awesome. I don't know why I'm leaving this full screen shot here, but here we are, guys. Yeah, what are your thoughts on glide baits? It's one of the things that I will say has come up a lot in conversation with listeners, both at the 300th show and at the expo, as well as on social media. Like a lot of people were saying straight up, like, oh, what do we got, Joe?
Let's see. This is Shan's. This is a little bigger than mine.
It's the Micro Boss. Is the small one.
So, yeah. This is the one I got for him. I got to be careful of the hooks because I realized they weren't covered.
Let's see what we got. Dude, that's the Micro Boss? That's awesome. That's a great fucking pattern, buddy.
Yep. So he like I said, Shan reached out to me. He's like, dude, if Clutch has this color and this bait, can you please get me one? I'll Venmo you right now.
This coming in right here. Shan says, don't sleep on the 6th Sense Judo for $24. I have heard a lot of people mention like, oh yeah, I want to look at some of the 6th Sense, glides too. Like, I mean, get into them. And then, there is something about like the baits that are at that, like that next level, the handmade stuff. There is something that's like makes that kind of shit special. Like, don't get me wrong. When I caught fish on the Bruce Gillis and dude, that's
so
dope.
The one Shan got is the Baby Boss. The one I got is the Micro Boss.
Oh, okay. He's got the Baby Boss.
And then again, you got the Psycho. I got 2 Psycho Gills, but
yeah, Psycho
I'll
Gills
probably never. This will probably sit on my fucking desk forever, but
the paint is just killer, dude. Have you thrown big wakes? Have you thrown big wakes yet? Like gone out, like I'm talking big ass wakes, big rats and shit.
No, I actually haven't,
dude. We should plan a day and like we'll go and fish super early and that's what we'll do. We'll just bring those rods.
Yeah.
We'll make a game of it.
I'm good with that. Bring nothing else but those rods.
Just those rods. Yeah. Just those rods, just for the big wakes. And I think what we'll do is we'll come up with, cause I've got a good variety. In fact, I have a sack pig bait that I still haven't, you know what? Shit. It might be in my bag. It might be in my bag. It might not be in the boat. If I have it, I'll bring it for you tomorrow. Yeah. When I see you tomorrow. I think I have a sack pig rat for you.
Okay.
I know that I do.
Yeah.
It's just, is it?
I got that's good because I got some stuff for you too. As long as I remember that I've been trying to give to you for like a fucking year. But
fucking chances. They chop perfectly.
Dude, so if he's talking the judo, I've been seeing some TikToks and some YouTube videos of people smashing donks on those things.
Was I am interested if any, I'm looking for some more information on the soft glides. So like, who was it? I think it was Brandon, NJ, BFS gang. He had posted, he's got a bunch of new stuff and a couple of Nessies. And I'm like, oh, that's right. That's a soft glide. That's interesting. Yeah.
The Nessies are pretty good. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm just, curious. And again, it's one of those things like for the cost and the availability, if you wanted to dip your toe into it. You can't beat
$10, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
Less than $10.
Like you go ahead and give that a shot. But I think that, stick to the classic, the hard bait, jump in. Like we gave you some really good options and, we had some really good ones in the comments too. Some really, really good stuff. So yeah, throw a glide, man. Throw a glide. I had
Chop Block. That's the other one I was trying to think
the Berkeley Chop Block. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is somebody I was talking with, and I was like, the thing that appeals to me is that when you're throwing a glide bait, it's almost like you're like a puppeteer, making an inanimate object kind of come to life,
Right.
and I think for me, just fishing with artificial lures, that's always been the appeal. Like it's like when you fish a jig, trying to make it do something on the bottom, or when you swim something. It's so, and I feel like I've spent the last couple of years really putting time in with moving baits and utilizing them to try to learn how to find fish. That I think that's why I think it's time to move on with this one. But